Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday evening, the 4th of August, 2026. I'm coming to you live from Georgia. People will say Atlanta, no, from not Stone Mountain either, but from Georgia. My name again is Cindy Martin Kapir. I'm a war survivor, a mother, a voice for those who have a voice but are not yet ready to speak. Now, tonight we will be talking about reimagining Liberia, reimagining leadership as a whole. While we're going in circle, why does it seem like we're on a merry-go-round? So that's what we'd like to talk about tonight. So let's start off with this. I had an opportunity to listen, but there are few things that I like to make a note of. Okay, one is the burning of the drugs. All right, the burning of the drugs. I'm not sure how much information was compiled, how thoroughly it was documented. Okay. In the world over, with drug like that is seized, the Liberian government said there was no threat to the Liberian government in respect to, even though there was threats sent out to the president's son. But according to Gregory Coleman, the IG, said there was no immediate threat. In the world over, they will store those drugs in a place, a secure place, as I stated the other day on the last show. And then they will take a sample of it. It will be, they will use forensic tests, those who are specialized in that particular area of the different type of drugs that it is, and it will be thoroughly documented. The prosecutor will be involved. Okay, I'm not sure if the prosecutor were involved in the documentation of these particular drugs in Liberia. 9,000, 4.2. It was around 9,000 pounds of drugs per se. Okay, 9,000 pounds of drugs. And then you will have other credible agencies will come and we have that documented thoroughly, and that will be taken from there. Now, we saw that it was being burned. I had two reservations. I had reservation about the immediate burning of it, and I had another reservation about where it was being burned in respect to the environmental effects, the human cost, and all the health hazard that it was going to cause. I talked about that. I'm not sure if the EPA was involved in this particular drug burning, okay, and the level of time that it took to burn it, okay. If you notice, that amount of drugs would not take 2 hours to be burned. It would not take 1 hour to be burned. It would not take 3 hours to be burned. And depending on, okay, the temperature that it will be used, usually they use incinerator, okay, but to open it publicly, I talk about the environmental impact. I talk about the human cost, the health cost of the community. So I'm not sure if EPS were involved. These things were not communicated. I don't know the community, because the community in which those drugs were burned, people live around it. All right. We're talking about cocaine that was being burned. And we saw police people burning the cocaine. No covered up. They have the everyday mask on, and that's that. That's that. Those will cause respiratory problem, but we didn't see that. Then they left the time that it took to burn that drugs. Now, the day before, or 2 days before, or 2 days prior, Yaka Koluba had made the announcement that 5,000 bags of flowers were bought, so those can be swapped. I am sorry. To some degree, I like to believe that that's not all of the drugs that were burned, because these people will not be walking out with no protection and walking around and playing and say they're pumping tire and carrying on, and the environment would be quiet. It wouldn't be. Those are chemicals. Those are chemicals that goes through a lot before those are done. Okay? And that's what I want to talk about. Second thing I like to talk about. So we're talking about the drugs. And we are doing push and pull with the two what do you call it, administration that has been in power since we actually went to an election. Till the election, people were under duress. I'm not going to talk about that. But I'm talking about the two people that have taken the two political parties that have been ruling since 2005 in the last 20 years, 21 years. Okay. They're pushing and pulling. When the other person said, no, that's you, the other person said, that's you. But if you're looking at the documentation based on thoroughly documented facts, okay, research, and I'm going to say this to all of you here, you will note that since 2005, all right, it is thoroughly documented that I just pull out the top 20 largest, okay, the drug have been tracking into the country. The last one that they had, 2008, was 500 million. America was involved. This one, they say 317 million. We are saying it's around $1 billion. All right. So, and there were, in fact, this year alone, let me just explain to y'all. Let's just chronicle a few things here. 2026, 236 kilograms of cocaine in 2026. Okay. June, 520 kilograms of cocaine, October 2022. 3,991 of cocaine, July 2026. This is June and July. This is in Liberia. So you remember the 19 million drugs at the airport? Then you have the 317 million drugs that were just arrested. You remember a few months back, they had a whole house full of drugs in the Brownsville area. You remember that? Then the other one that were coming in from Sierra Leone. I mean, there's a list. There's an entire list. When I'm finished with this show, I will put it under the show so you guys can see that, so you can see it yourself. This is not for a particular, some of them, okay? This one, notable outcome and concluded in what? In 30 years, Chimbo Peter Oma received a 30 years federal sentence. That was the guy that I was talking about with the 500 million, okay? You had another one with a Russian pilot that was trafficking. You had another one called Marcel Acevedo, whatever the name is pronounced, okay? A lot of other people. So this information is available to you, okay? It's available to you to go and research. If you pull it up, and this will be fact from the LDA, you will find it out from the LDA, and it will tell you all of those things. You can pull it up, and it will be there. Okay? Now, we are going to focus now on innovative leadership that Liberia can believe in. Liberia does not need recycled politicians. We've done enough. Okay, we've done enough. I had an opportunity to listen to Chairman Gould this afternoon, but I'm going to add my own voice to Chairman Gould, what he said. I'm not saying what he said is wrong, and I'm not going to say what is right, because the mirror has two faces, okay? The mirror is not straight. It does not reflect just on you. It reflects on all of us. Me, as a young lady living in Monrovia, grew up in Monrovia, we have a lot of family people killed, all right? Yes, a lot of people thought the war was coming for door, all right? A lot of people also were afraid of Doe. Let's just make that clear. Right now, today, all of us talking, all the people around the president, Doe was a young man, 28 years old. In actuality, we're told that was his real age. Everybody came and circled him. Okay. And I will keep telling this story. When I believe it was the Thomas Winston issue. Okay. The 5 men that were put on the firing squad, we are already by a few more people before then. And when that case was called, those summer, all of the Zoes and the elders to see what was the way forward. All our elders and leaders or Zoes, they told them, you should put them on firing squad. They say when you are traveling, when you're traveling in a tree fall on your way, you cut it. So just in case you're coming back, it will not be a hindrance to you. So let's stop it. I'm talking from my own experience. I was not too much of a child. Okay. Once you pass 6 and 7 year old, what happened from there on, you should be able to remember. Only one person had a decent, Chief Tamatilla. The rest, just that Lima Bowie said in her 2000, what was that? 2019 or 2019 Independence Day speech as an orator that she said. The problem in Liberia have been the elders, the chiefs, the Zoes, they have refused to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Okay, whoever is in power, they become a puppet and a yes sir to that person, so long they can get a cut. Let's say, for example, Mr. Timba, apparently Mr. Timba is doing Jeremiah Kum bidding, where Mape was not waiting to do, right? Mr. Timba just took over the labor. Is it labor? Yeah. No, it's not labor. What the other way? Lands and Mines. He just bought 150 motorbikes. They say $1,000 per head. So the $150,000. This dude that was just in other people's inbox begging yesterday is able to purchase 150,000 worth of motorbike. But here is the caveat for me. When the heat got on his back, what did he say? The vice president gave him money to purchase those motorbikes, to give it to the elders, and I believe the chief or the Zoe. Here's my problem. Jeremiah Kun come from District 1. At least that's where he grew up. Like I say, that my nephew, that my sister's son, he's not from there. He's from, I think, Grand Crew, whatever he say he's from. That's where he's from, okay? District 1, there are schools within that community, all right, that have no seats. Our borders are polarized. Our police, okay, and security have no cars. When I was in Liberia, in fact, for the election, the whole of District 7, he's the vice president though, and he was senator one time. The whole of District 7 had 2 pickup trucks. And I believe both pickup trucks must have donated it to the county at the time. But he bought those. That's the way, it's bribery. I'm saying it and I don't give a fee. That's the way he's influencing, okay? He's in the position of power. He has our money. He and Bape Boaka have their hand on the nation wealth. So he is buying the voices of our people. So they keep our people desperate. They keep them down. So they're able to buy them out. Now he's buying motorbike for the elders or for the chief, whoever he buying them for. 150 of them. That means those elders themselves will go back to harass the children in the community to say whatever this man says goes. Okay, this is what it is. They have no intentions of changing Liberia. They have no intentions of promoting critical thinking, builders or innovators' minds, because they want to be able to control Okay. Okay, diverse. Okay. Okay. They want to be able to control, stay in charge. Okay. Today I was speaking to some children from LU. LU is supposed to be opening, but the instructors have not been paid. So they're going slow. They're not. This is every year. This is every administration in the last 30 years. That's what they've done. But their children are going to private universities. Their children are leaving Liberia, coming to America, to Europe. They can pay out of pocket. In the United States, here it is though. Most of the school got two graduation. They're set in stone, rain or shine. If you have one or two classes left, you're going to walk. They will hold your diploma until you finish your course. But if you sign up to graduate in winter and you meet the requirement, maybe because of one class, you will walk across the stage. Okay? They don't change it. LU was supposed to be having another graduation in August. It keeps changing. Every year it changes, it changes, it changes. Nothing. There's no structure. Absolutely no structure. My school that I'm a teacher at, we close the third Wednesday in May. No go come. Winter storm, day storm, tornado, hurricane. That's when it closes. The colleges that I went to, okay, we have winter graduation, we have spring graduation, however you call it. We have the May graduation second Saturday, um, in May, okay. December second Saturday in December. It does not change. Those who finish, who meet the requirement, are gonna march regardless. But Liberia, every year is the same. The kids must get in the street. They must protest. Whereas the children come here and go to school. And then they bring them back. And it will bring me to something. Hey, George, it will bring me to something here. Please help me share. Okay? Please help me share. I have spoken about two things here. I spoke about the drug issue in Liberia, why I have reservation, why I don't believe that they burn all of the 9,000 pounds of drugs within that short period of time. And another thing is the burn it with the people standing next to it and burning it. And I didn't see people coughing. The only thing they have on their nose, they didn't even have protected mask. They only have masks that what they call it for cold and flu. All right, that you just protect. So if somebody spit, it don't go. All right, something like the amount of chemical that carry cocaine, and they say they were burning it. I don't believe it, but you know, when I wrote, a lot of people came under my post and they're cussing and carry on. And I'm going to continue to say this to Liberian people. Majority of you do not want to move forward. Majority of you do not care what is happening in Liberia, especially those of you on our post. What you care about is a personality. If that's your person, whether people are being whether kids are being raped, whether drugs is coming in the country, you do not care because you think you tend to benefit. Okay, that is the problem with Liberia. So it brings me again back to the conversation on Spoon today about, oh, people thought the rebel were coming for Doe and Doe alone. Not really. Not really. The 5 year old Doe, the same way you got these people running up and down, insulting people on Facebook, insulting people, profiling people, lying on people. When their people, like for instance, one of the city mayor, somebody went to visit him. The girl died in his house. Helped a woman who left her house. Okay, they didn't investigate him. We didn't hear nothing about it. Okay, Samuel Jackson's wife, who spent a whole day in the hospital. had a major brain surgery, okay, was hemorrhaging, had a what do you call it, a first aid done to her, like gave her chest compression. They've been holding the woman body for 5 months, literally, almost, okay. We saw that with, what's his name, Brian McGill, with a 14-year-old little girl. He said he had never seen a girl. People put him with a girl. The first sample of the rape kit that they took, he said, Gregory Coleman said they expressed it to the United States. It was coming right back. He waited till 3 months later to go back and say, oh, they needed to take a new sample. New sample is 3 months later. This child had taken bath. This child had had period 3 times, had taken bath, washed her hair, braided her hair. What are you going to go find? And he killed it, Gregory Coleman, because those are his boys. All right. Now, so this one, the war did not come, or people did not invite it because everybody thought they were coming for dough. People invited it because there was no justice, because there was no what do you call it, what do you call it, no legal recourse, no moral recourse for things that were happening to people. People were being profiled because they belonged to certain tribe, were being murdered in cold blood because 1 or 2 members of that particular tribe went against the president. So people who thought they loved the president more created more issue, just as I said in 2023. And I'm going to continue to say this, okay? There were no accountability. Thank you, Sis Letty. Like I said before, and I'm going to say this again, okay? Here's what I'm going to say to you. The same way you're doing stuff right now, that's exactly what they did. We brought in the elephant hunter. They brought in this thing. They brought in this person. They brought in that people, and they what do you call it? Surrounded themselves with the president. Instead of them supporting the president, telling him, "Listen, you are the first countryman after 130 years. We must unite our people." The one voice that spoke and everybody went against him was Chief Tamatella from Lofa country. The rest of the Liberian elders, the rest of the people, the Grandidians, the Nimbalians, the one from Sano, the one from Maryland, the one from Grand Bassa, the one from all the other counties. Okay, at that time we didn't have 13 counties. All of them encouraged though. The first set of people that were killed, according to the US CIA facts, were more than 14. Those were not announced. Okay. Then the 5 group were killed. Nelson Doe was 21 years old, 20 years old. He was a kid. Thomas Wensen, you name them. You remember Podia? You remember MMZ from Zameton? Even Mr. Bond, who lived in England now, Nestor Doe brother, who was the superintendent of Mangibi, all of them became God, just like the people are playing God today. See more Ali there on Facebook. Okay, my Lord brother, these were people who were in our inboxes here yesterday, Mr. Coming inboxes. I see them. These are government officials on Facebook insulting. So no, the mirror has 2 faces. The people who were supposed to tell Doe, this is wrong, we have to do it this way, they could not do it, just as you're doing today. Just as you're doing today. My neighbor, in fact, one of my aunts' husbands, because the husband challenged Doe, put that man out of his own house so he can sleep with his wife. The man left Liberia and never came back. He got children here, they're grown. So you stop it. The story was not about Doe. The story about all of us, the way we act, the way when we are close to power, the way even we're friends with you. I have few friends, okay? In fact, I make sisters. I don't make friends because I'm blunt. And my particular personality don't sit well with a lot of people. To know me is to love me. I am who I am. And if I say I'm for you, I'm for you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth here. And let's do it together. And if you're ready to tell me the truth, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. Yes. We know there were coup in coup. But it was not Doe alone. Yes, Doe was the leader. Just as when we told some of your sedition yesterday, I sat on this platform for years since Letty were here. Many of us, we are do this. The people say that other first they started with go find men and married. Most of them don't know I'm being married. My children, some of my children are older than they are. Go find men and sit down. The next thing when they find out, oh, go cook for your husband or go clean up for your husband. Go find something to do. Less than a year to election, sedition got in the street. 2022, July 26th, Soup ain't asked for nothing but fix the country. Beat up the people. Even the police were walking, smiling. I was just looking, every night in their Facebook can remind you, okay? Instead of your helping we are out, and say, oh man, I want people believe in you. And I used to sit here, since Latia used to say, I said, I'm in and out of Liberia. Liberian people love Ria, but they're afraid of his leadership. People are afraid, okay? You're coming and making all the excuses, and the person did it, but nobody cares at this point. So let me come back, and I'm going to keep bringing this home. Anytime you have, most of you, Liberian people, have what do you call it? Closeness to proximity to leadership. You choose. There little girl that all of us used to be on your what her name? What a little girl named Queen Johnson. I collected money to let you call all of you to get Queen Johnson out of jail. You know that little fool, that little killer had the nerve come under my post, say she won't direct me. That little weed head, that little cocaine head, say she won't come for me. You could not even afford to sleep in place. Pay you. Want to talk about. So those are the things that we are talking about. So it was not just about coming for Doe. This mirror has more than one face. So let's get that straight. When you have a president that want to be in every draws, in everything, one power to themselves, we set the tune. The leaders in Liberia who's supposed to help the advisor. Look at them right now. Papia Boaka came to power. He passed executive order for war and economic crimes court. Gafwan drafted the budget. No money in it for war and economic crimes court. Listen, y'all want Liberia fix? I recommend this. This TRC report, it gave you an in-depth research of how Liberia got to where it got. So y'all want to talk about coming for Doe? Read it, then talk about it. They were not just coming for Doe. Yes, people want a relief. Other tribe want a relief. Besides, and not even all Crown people, because when Doe were in power, listen, I have a Grandian heritage. My family people, some of them were in government, okay? Some of them were in government, all right? So, but when people used to ask, that's when I found out Crown had rendition. Crown had different variation, all right? The people from Totan, the people from Zerju, the people from this, because we Liberians are divisive. It's just like in Lima. A lot of people don't know that, and I will tell you that. Mano have different renditions. The people from around the Ganta and Senegal area, their manner is close to the Guinea manner. The people from on the other side, across back past the what do you call it, around the Yasno area, all the way to district 7, their manner is slightly different. And those going closer to Tabata, their own is different. Just the same way as Gio. That's why during the war, the Gio people who are Gio, okay? will ask you, they were saying, they say, Zankenyane. And if you ask me that at the time, I wouldn't be able to answer it. Okay. It's almost like between Ivorian Gill and Liberian Gill. All right. It's just like English, even in America. The people from the South, they speak different from the people from New York. The people from Alabama speak different from the people from Georgia. The people from Tennessee speak that everybody has their own little rendition or accent that is added to that. All right. So to say all of us just needed to wait and make a king out of Doe. Doe regime was during the Cold War. According to the CIA facts, that was the government that got the most money out of America. Hundreds of millions of dollars. The people took it, sat on it, and divided it. Just like the people who came before the 130 years, the 300 family, okay? They go, they borrow in the name of Liberia. While they were not paying people, they would divide among themselves, send their children out to come to the United States to learn to some of the best school, give them stipend every month, and guarantee them job when they return. All right? This is how we got here. And this is how we're still here. So that is the reason that Liberia needed to be reconstructed, reimagined. We need an innovative leadership. We need a leadership that we can believe in, that can change the trajectory, the one that we're on, where everybody fights. Oh, CDC did it. Oh, UP did it. Oh, CDC did it. Oh, UP did it. And you know something that I've come to realize with Liberians? Majority of us are selective listener, or we have selective amnesia. I listened to Alexander Cummings tonight. I will play that video on Thursday because it's fresh that people digest it. I have not listened completely to it. And people keep calling and asking Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings, we're really suffering. We want you to join CDC this time and go as so and so. The very Liberian people said the very thing to Mr. Cummings when he appeared on Hemna Costa show the first time after the election. He was the only voice out here talking. He was the only face because UP have failed and failed even in the election as a sitting or leadership. And Alexander Cummings agreed. First, he said, we're going to try from the outside. Okay. Mr. Brunskin followed through, knowing that, at least he believed, he and Bwaka were friends. Mr. Cummings took the lead, happy out. Then Brunsky died. May his soul rest in peace. When the CPP finally came together, or CPP, yeah, Collaborating Political Party, finally came together, UP said they didn't have no money. Mr. Cummings, they had a show on Spoon. It's there. The story are out there. We told him to speak on that. But Mr. Cummings is a very humble person. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. You will pay a quarter of their own due that will do. The rest, ANC people took care of that. They have money, but they were holding on to the money for us to build them back, resuscitate them, breathe life into them to come back. And all of y'all were over here. When they decided they would do black voting, they would do this, the dishonesty in your pocket. First, when everybody was together, Mr. Cummings was everything. During the 2020 election, even during Darius DeLong election, Darius DeLong will call. I will call Mr. Cummings. Woke up 12 minutes, 5 a.m. Call Mr. Cummings to answer. DeLong need this. Darius need this. Darius need that. Quality Mane Yeto. Mr. Cummings said, okay, tell Darius to call me. Then they decided they will cook up. Liberian people, y'all were right here. Y'all follow this man who had lived his life in a place where people are held accountable, who have dealt with billions of dollar budget. And what did you do? You boo him. My own little brother, Sonny Ball, Queen Johnson, that little we here. They pay people and show up to boo, pour onto this man clothes. A man where in the corporate America, A legacy organization. Like today, under the post, I saw a stupid guy there say, "Oh, y'all fool him so we can drink some of the Coca-Cola." I saw tonight a Liberian woman die in the street, and her body is still there in a nation of plenty. So the question that begs an answer is, I see majority of you stay posting, if election were today, who will you vote for? However, we ask the question, if election were today, what is your priority? That's where the world over. People who are intelligent, people who are forward thinking, people who think about their own well-being, people who think about their next generation, people who think about their livelihood, they think about today was election day, who will provide and create an opportunity that my children will not beg, and I beg most of my life, who will make it easier for us to navigate, and my children will go to school per the Constitution Article 6 free. That's the question I will be asking. Who will make sure a Liberian woman does not sit outside and die waiting to give birth to a child, to a Liberian? That will be my question. Who will make sure that our people will not be begging, that our school, that leadership children will be forced to go to school in the area that they live in? That would be my question. That's what I want to know. I will be asking. Y'all bring the people up front. I need to know how they're going to do this. Are they going to invest in education? Will primary education or fundamental education be a priority? If so, how? When? Where? I want to hear from them. Are you going to create jobs? How are you going to create jobs? Let me tell you something. 3 years. Ibrahim Traore. 3 years. Going to 4. Today, to have baby in Burkina Faso, mothers don't pay. You have baby free. Today, if you're over 60 years old, you don't pay light bill, you don't pay water bill. This board had nationalized their minerals. So the money is being put back into the system for the people. He said there should not be fair for somebody who worked, live all their life in Burkina Faso to be 65 and cannot find to sleep in darkness, to look for water to drink, to look for food to eat. They will take it of their own. He put in another mechanism. That's innovation. He said people who do petty crime, like stealing, burglary, and all of this, all abuse, no capital crime. You will go to jail. You will serve maybe a quarter of your time. From there, you're going to go out and you will learn trade. You're going to work to pay back like they do in Singapore. And you will learn a new trade before you come back into, because he does not know what is the reason behind you that got into trouble in the first place. But everybody deserves a second chance. He does not think it's even with you committing crime. You're still human, okay? But you want to give you a second chance. When will Liberia think about innovative leadership that we all can believe in? That is my question to you tonight. All right, y'all, please share. All right. Now, for me, I will continue to speak my truth. Okay. And people will not like that. I wrote on my page this evening. First Lady, Deputy Bank Governor, Senator, Vice President. Now, kissing the ring for a job, just a merry-go-round. I was speaking directly to Joy Howard Taylor. You know, tonight I listened to my little brother, Kanyo Babala. Very respectful. He respects me. We've been on the same platform. Call me sis, address me with respect. But I'm going to speak to this. That father was one of those people who destroy Liberia. And he's not any different. He is his father's son. I am embarrassed of him as a young man that's supposed to be Well learned. I don't think he learned anything. He literally memorized, vomit out what he memorized and put down. He has no, I am sorry, no moral, okay? No ethics. He does not understand it. I don't know, like Liberian law school, they don't teach ethics in a school. They don't teach ethics in the management. And he's supposed to be an adjunct professor. Who child is he teaching? This boy kiss up to everything. I listened to you heard Yeke tonight. I don't know why you hate Boaka Yeke, because he got a job with the government. Yeke does not hate Boaka. I particularly do not like Yeke choice of word, but Yeke is right 99% of the time. If you just turn your words around. But I live in America. People call Trump all kind of name. I listened to a senator the other day who looked at a renowned a doctor, a scientist, and told him who the F with the word out. And America is setting the tone. The American leaders used to be people who speak with civility. Now we got a bunch of bully who think they're going to play king. And that's why we went to war in America to begin with, because America did not want king. They ran away from kingdom. They didn't want king. Now they're crowning a king. But I'm going to stay within the confines of Liberia. So I listened to Barbara talking, kissing up the Joy Howard Taylor. She's an exemplary person. From where? The woman who watched our children rape. I am sorry. Okay? I'm just going to say I have nothing against her, but this is my truth. I have nothing against her, but she and her husband interrupted our lives. That's my personal issue. All of you, and I'm going to speak to that. All right. She watched her husband drug our brothers and sisters to fight for him. Even after giving him power, he sat on them. When army were coming to Liberia, all the amputee, they packed them up, they dumped them, and they buried them. This woman came to America to a plea so her husband can be free. 2018, we are taking over. More than me issue. We're advocating. The children were protesting. Do I have a paid group of young people to get out there to protest again? I still have the video. Let's say you should know that. And the little girl came, oh, the guy didn't rape me, but he used to get in the pool with us and finger us. Because that was young girls thing. If a man put his toto and penetrate you, then that's rape. But the man was fingering them. And when we asked Joel Howard Taylor not to go to Kelly Myler program that night, Joel Howard Taylor went. In fact, Joel Howard Taylor had a press conference where she said, you're rather than people molesting them or being in the street a prostitute. None of those should suffice. That's a leader, a woman leader speaking so. That was Joel Howard Taylor. And not only that, came to America to beg for her husband release. Our uncles, our grandparents, our siblings are still dead. She enjoyed the spoil and the blood that spilled in Liberia. First lady, deputy bank governor, she had to sign every paper for the money to flow. She became senator, vice president. Ma Joelle, you've been blessed. You won't tell me all the money you made, ma. Over 25, 30 million budget annually in 3 years, ma Joelle. You won't tell me you could not take $10 million, in fact, 500,000, and open a business that will hire at least 1,000 people. Inbox me. I would suggest if you got 500,000, I will partner with you. I will come up with all the idea and we'll set up the place. You will recover your money in less than 1 year. You come with the initial capital, but you're looking for government job, man. My last talk will be on family and this other gentleman. You know, my uncle, my late brother was one of those like little brother of family, but he found his own voice. He was a brainiac. Doing the progressive, doing the React newspaper. He was one of those young people that will enter your office and the newspaper will leave. And we came down to door. My brother almost got killed. My mom put us in a house. I always tell the story here. May his soul rest in peace. But my family and Kuangba then were coming to Liberia. The name we remember him to be was the absentee general. He was supposed to be a general. He became an absentee general. He didn't show up. He did not show up. He was supposed to be the head of communication. He did not show up. No revolution can happen successfully if the network, the communication breaks down. The progressive have been given an opportunity. I would say, Ellen, where are they? What's the new idea? The thing is, I'm looking to see majority of you who are going back and forth. I want to see some peer review. I want to look at your work that you've done. It's good that we all have this. Somebody was saying the other day, and this is a commonplace in America. The B students will be the business creator, the innovators. The A student, the so-called intellectuals, will be the one that will be hired by the B students to do the work. Or it will be the professor at the university because theory is where they understand. Practical involve nuances. You have to be able to, because it's not called black and white. It's not where you memorize and regurgitate. No, and just spill out. No, it works more than that. It's like we are in training and we all are looking at each other because these trainers come from headquarters and they're telling us if you do this, everything is just going to fall in place. And we're like, yeah, right. We'll see by September. No, that's not the way it works. And that's not the way it works. You're speaking in theory. You're not in a classroom. That's not the way it works. No, it's not. So I'm going to end with this, but I'm going to play this Front Page Africa video. Let me pull this up. If you're here, somebody please. I was also Mr. Cummings were on closing argument today. First, let me pull this. I have no copyright to this, and viewer discretion is advised. Okay, it does not let me open it. For some reason, it does not let me open it. So I'm gonna close this one right here. It's not letting me open it. That's the picture of the lady. Okay, let me go ahead and do it here. What was that? All right, I got a few things I wanted to show here. I'm gonna play this. Today I heard on the show ANC people curse. Let me make this clear. ANC people don't curse. Most ANC people, most ANC people are very professional people and they're ethical people. We can debate without insulting. We don't have to insult you. We can debate you. But let me play this. Here is you're talking about 1%. Here is UP 2026 during the election. Here is your girl dragging because somebody wore CDC uniform. They bat this little boy, this young man, bat him. Okay, they bat him for no reason because he wore CDC uniform. So let's play this. You're who talking?
The naming of the campaign team today by Joe Quaka. So you see here, it's actually happening here. It's actually happening here. So violence is actually. So this is what happening here right now. So he's on the run.
See right there? Gregory Coleman never investigated this guy. They never arrested him. Here is the young man. I'm going to go ahead and show. Maybe he's over here. Let me see where he is. Nope. This is about the drug case in Liberia. Here's the young man. He ended up losing his life. And I'm going to play this again. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play it. So those of you who are talking, the person cursed. Prophet King was cursing my curse all this yesterday, little boy. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm not gonna go too much of this. Okay, the little boy passed. This is UP people. This is UP. Listen, I learned well. I don't have to use profanity to defend myself or to argue with you. Yes, that was Queen Johnson. They rewarded her for taking that boy life. She had to sit the port. Okay. The night after the one-day election, I think they had named Gregory Coleman already. They said they arrested that time Patrick Sulu was still in charge, but I blame CDC. Okay. They arrested her, but they released her. They released her. All right. That's Queen Johnson. That was Queen Johnson. I thought I put this picture here. I thought I put it here. I got to show you when they arrested her. And I'm going to post it again because every time I post it, she starts insulting me. I don't care for it's somebody that I fed. It's somebody that I built out. It's somebody that when she could not, she didn't have, she's not even going to go anywhere anyway. So they got to pray to stay in power forever. That's all I can say with her because she has nothing, quite frankly. That's how I see it. I'm going to pull it up. I'm trying to find this. And then another thing, I talk about a few things here. Yeah, so give me 1 second. I will show you the power when she was arrested And the people said, a big hand said they should release her, all right, and she was never investigated in that little boy. And that's why I tell young people, be careful. While you're advocating for people, also remember to preserve your life. Every person that I've encountered, including the Queen Johnson, I always told her, a violence was not an answer. You can disagree with people to agree. Okay. And if people have a different opinion of you, respect the opinion. I am a proud 1%. It means Liberia is so upside down that it takes that the whole nation, only 1% of us have the conscience and the morality, okay, to stand up. But if you tell me that we insult, no, we don't insult. My job will not allow me to insult. Do I know how to insult? Yes, I do. I do. But I chose not to. I don't think it's the right thing to do. My mother always told me, never put on your farm roll. Anywhere you go, if you pass somewhere, make sure if I come there, I can lift my hair up to walk, to pass. Okay. Meaning we are connected, just as I tell my children. So if I got something to tell you, I will tell you straight up, just like I just spoke with Joelle Howard Taylor. Yes. She enjoyed the spoil of where we are. All the money she made, the woman had over what, 20, $30 million budget. And now she's gonna be fighting for Boaga and belittling herself so she can get a job to ECOWAS. Are we serious in that country? When will this recycle move over to get a new kind of leadership that is innovative, that is inclusive, that can help change our nation? And that's what we need to start thinking. You know, as I said, like tonight, when I listen and people say to Mr. Cummings, so and so, and Mr. Cummings, I said over and over, Boaga never asked him to run along with him, although the Liberian people were asking. Boaga told us he will never be the reason, okay? He will never be the reason for uh, uh, Congo people to come to power. But like I always told Liberian people, there are not enough Native people in Liberia to change Liberia. There are not enough Congo people in Liberia to change Liberia. It will take all of us. All of us have to be Liberian first. And if we are Liberian first, then we can prioritize Liberia. Okay. I see Joelle Howard Taylor coming to speak for Omen Boaka. Oh, Omen Boaka, don't do this, you don't do that. Yaka didn't say that. Jeremiah Kun said that. And I'm about to play it. Jeremiah Kun, the senior vice president, said that. So what is he talking about? What is he talking about? What is she talking about? She's somebody that Yeka does not touch, that Yeka protects. So now what is she talking about? That's the question I'm asking her. All right. So I'm gonna see, I'm trying to find this video with this girl, uh Queen Johnson. It's here. I pulled it out today. I put it in there. You talking about my Jabate? My Jabate threatened me. I brought to Congress, okay? And I'm still gonna sue him because if I come to Liberia, anything happened to me, he will be responsible. He sat on Facebook and threatening to put bullet in my head. Oh, y'all didn't see that. You don't remember that. You don't remember that either. You hear? But you'll come and say ANC people use Prophet Key. Do you want me to post Prophet Key per video for insulting Liberian women? Insulting all of y'all were going and sending him money and you're putting him in jail. But the same Boaka used to call him to say thank you for cussing people. And he even raised money for Boaka. You didn't have no problem with that. Got Boaka nephew who is now to I don't know, they say MOU or whatever. Okay. I had a naked picture all over in this place here. The one that called himself One People. The other nephew was say he was giving job to people. What did he do? Molested a woman. And did you investigate? No. Where is the Queen Johnson woman picture? I had it here. I'm trying to find it. I had that stuff here. Well, I can't find it. Here she is. That would be the last thing I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna go. Okay. All that stuff that she did right there. They gave her a job. They rewarded her for killing that little boy. They rewarded her for that. Yep. 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 Now they got problem with your kid. They didn't have problem with your kid before when your kid were working for them. They didn't have no problem when your kid were working for them. Okay. Yes, Jeremiah. I'm gonna play this, and I didn't say that. So you want to talk to Yeke? Talk to Jeremiah Kun. Here it is. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play this. It's not disrespectful. We say a lot about how you put it. If you
things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, good everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. Mm-hmm. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he himself said, he said, when you run for one term, he himself said it. I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else.
All right. So that you're right there, right? That you're right there. You see that? I didn't say that. He said it. That's the vice president. So Yeke said the same thing. Why the vice president getting mad? Why the former vice president? Why is she getting mad? Yeke said the same thing. Why is she getting mad? What is she mad at? Why? Because she's looking for attention. What is she looking for? Why is she saying that? Why is this thing not going? Okay. All right. So this Queen Johnson stuff is not going through for me. So since it's not going through for me, I will go ahead and leave it for tonight. I will see you Thursday night. Oh my God, somebody said that. Yeah. So I'm about to finish up. So if you're here, I'm going to say thank you for being here. Please go ahead and share the video. Okay. I'm about to make this stuff right here. So let me see what I've done. Okay. No, 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 no. All right. Why my stuff not showing? All right. So let me see where I can go somewhere else and do it there. I got to share, folks, before I leave. So, yeah, I got to share. Not there yet. Okay. Let me share here to my group. There you go. Yeah. So I'm going to end here tonight. What we all need to be preaching is what are the issues confronting Liberia? It's not personality, all right? Especially those of us who live in the diaspora. We know right now, you hear it from our state, John Offset is talking about ethics, is talking about putting the people first. We just saw Mandani, the change that have been made. Actually, I'm going to play it really quickly. That politician can actually keep their word. So let me play this really quickly and then we will go. A different kind of politics. Okay. Here it is right here. Give me 1 second. No, I don't want somebody else's on a video. I want a video that does not, I have to do, hold on, a video that I can, okay. It's just somebody's voice, but I'm gonna have you guys listen to it. So let me do this. I don't want to show how you call it, girl, but that's what people said were going to happen. But here it is. Listen up. That politician can actually deliver. There we go.
We don't have to ask ourselves what life looks like if a socialist wins.
Okay, listen up.
Trial for the Democratic Party.
Let them. We don't have to ask ourselves what life looks like if a socialist wins. I won last November, and over the course of these last 6 months, what we've delivered for working people are the very things we were told were impossible. We've delivered free childcare for 2-year-olds for the first time in New York City history. We've delivered tens of millions of dollars back to tenants who were taken advantage of by bad landlords. We've delivered 165,000 potholes being paved. And we've done all of these things while also delivering the lowest recorded crime in our city's history. That's what it looks like to have democratic socialism. And what you're seeing is that New Yorkers experienced this for 6 months and made the decision that they wanted to see more of it on the national stage as well.
Mamdani is proving that politicians can get things done, that politicians can do things for the constituents that make their lives better. Josh Johnson said it best recently in a sketch when he said, did the politicians know that there was this big red button that they could press that would fix things? Mamdani just walked into the office on his first day and said, look, guys, there's this button. And it makes things better. Let's press the button.
Okay. So here it is. It works. Okay. It works. So they can deliver. He delivered for his people. Right now, New York, in the history of whatever, okay, in the last 40 years, had the lowest crime rate. You know why? Because people don't have to go rob the store. Because people don't have to go looking for food. Because people rent is not choking them that they were doing before. They're not. Okay? So it's possible. How in heaven? The man who could not afford to eat yesterday, you gave him job, and every day he's on the plane. Every day. And I read the other day, like dog returning to his vomit. I was somewhere where somebody said, are you coming to, I know you're not going to, coming in September to the, thank you, George, coming to the diaspora conference to do what? At my age, town is very, very crucial for me. Between my work, my research, my family, I don't have that kind of time. What am I going to go do? Listen to Liberian people can't tell me tapata all day long? They're not coming to solicit idea. Why are you doing the summit here? You're taking the money from Liberia, bringing it here. How about you invite Liberians with idea and make provision instead of bringing you and your staff, all of them here? Can't put them in hotel in Washington or in Maryland to take from our people. How about you create an enabling environment and say, listen, I want Liberian diaspora to do it. Let me tell you something. Traore is working. The last time Traore asked for, I think, $40,000 or something. The people raised $400 million. Traore does not have to borrow money from African Development Bank, from World Bank. Burkina Faso in the diaspora, because of the work he's doing, They raised $400 million and know that it will be put in use. The last time, Travel brought over what I think they said 400 tractor trailer for farming, assign it to different regions, assign it to drivers. They go, they clear your land, they tilt your land, one group go. There's a parking lot that those return to, and people are there to maintain it. When it's time for the place to be the farm to be weed, they go over the weed. When it's time for the place to be tilted, what we can say will be hook. They have a trader that go, the setting amount, how you call it. As we speak, Burkina Faso is considered full sufficient. They can feed themselves. Now they don't have to. You are using over 300 million a year to import food into Liberia. A majority of the food you're getting is substandard. Travel is building straight road to make sure and building a dam where they will have river, and the dam will be used to have electricity. Like we have Lake Lanier here. He's creating man-made lake. And reaching hospitals, decentralizing the country. All right. Now, every almost 30-mile radius have clinic that is fortified for delivery, for emergency care. Then you have a centralized location right now in the region. Burkina Faso just built one of the largest hospitals. No. Saudi Arabia, they didn't give him money. No. Warburton didn't give him money. No. He's using the natural resources because he's using his head. We call it innovation. That's what we call it. He not only playing every 4 weeks to somebody's house. Travel had traveled maybe in the last 3 years, 4 times, maybe 5. The biggest travel outside of the continent was to Russia. He went to Mali, Niger. He went to Ghana. I think somewhere else, I can't remember. That's it. America has sent for him. Donald Trump has sent for him. I sent delegate to get him. He did not come. He said he's busy building his country. When they suggested to him that his name was mentioned in the, what do you call it, Nobel Peace Prize, you don't want it. He said when the Burkina children can sleep, when they can get up and they're not hungry, when they can go to school in the field. Today, Burkina Faso, former, what do you call it, ceremonial uniform that they wear for the military is made by Burkina Bees cloth. Their clothes, that's what it's made by. Cotton that they made themselves. Cotton, their own cotton. That's what it's made by. It's made with for the ceremonial stuff. Burkina Bees, their own cotton, for their own farm, for their own building. That is. They're not going to New York to get their old clothes. We have no problem. You know, I'm going to end with this. This is a message to my little brother. Saki Golafale. This is a message for you. You can send it to him. I don't argue with people I care for. I would rather block you. Don't come under my post with nonsense. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I really don't have the time. Okay. For me at this point, time is everything. I don't. You keep under my post because I saw that the Liberian maritime, whatever they call them, Coast Guard, had a boat, a floating boat. They were trying to chase the what do you call it, the ship, and they could not get. You didn't ask why did I put 179 years. You just came over assuming. Okay? I'm that person. If I care for you, I don't argue with you. Because if I start arguing with you, it get nasty. I'm not a good fighter. So I don't fight with the people that I care about. All right. So yes, let me say this. When Boaka traveled after he won, I got those videos. I will play it too. Boaka said he did not know that Liberia did not have helicopter, but he was vice president for 12 years. He was minister. He been minister. Saying he was the youngest minister. Now he in his 80s, in his early 20s. He did not know that Liberia did not have any of those essential. We have water, okay? We have marine life, vast of them. In fact, the Maserati group of company used to bring in millions of dollars from our fisheries. That's why, because we are not innovative. We're not creating avenue. You got sand, you order glasses, you order mirror. You got fish, you order fish and chicken from out of the country. You buy canned chicken when you have land that even if you let the chicken loose, it will eat off of it. Because we're not thinker, we're talker. So Saki, I was not talking to you. Don't come under my post with your craziness. Don't, because I will come for you the same way. And my own, I will verbalize it. Not only that, I will write it and I will verbalize it. Don't come under my post. 179 years, I have the right to speak. It's my freaking page. Nobody needs to come there to think you can muzzle me. Who the hell are you? I said 179 years. And so what? Yes, Boaka, who have been in the position. If 179 years, y'all get one office, $20 million for 12 years, Joseph Boaka. And Joseph Boaka did not know we did not have helicopter. Joseph Boaka does not know that we do not have a ship. But we brag about flying the most flag in maritime in the world. Although we don't even lead it, other people are sitting there collecting the money. Something has to be wrong with us. You know, I listened to this the African philosopher, I need to find his name. He said when the woman is beautiful, the face is pretty, the body is pretty, but she has no brain, the body suffer. That's the way with Liberia. That's where Africa is. It has everything, all the natural resources, but the leaders are brain dead. Majority of them, I'm saying that. Okay? They're a bunch of puppets. How you live in that small little place, small population, wealth over wealth. You borrow money all day long. Gafwan, data and statistics all come from African Development Bank or World Bank. I don't know any nation that World Bank have built, especially in the third world country, that have changed from handout from World Bank or for being choked with loans, living beyond your means, just for you to divide among yourself. So yes, I asked 179 years. Is that not the age of Liberia? 179 years. How many ships do you have? Or shipping lines? How many helicopters do you have? How many airlines do you have? You can talk about Liberia in the diaspora. We contribute over $800 million a year. If you shut that down, the whole damn country will shut down. And that little funny looking papier had the audacity to say they don't live here. We live here. So let them talk. But he will get his short nuppets up and get on the plane because he needs to come here for medical attention and tell me he's having a town hall meeting with Liberian people in the diaspora. That's what you're going to be coming here for. Because they'll need to get a stipend. They need to get the data stipend. They need to leave, can't lay down hotels. Lay down 24-hour electricity. It's quiet, serene. What say tranquil. No noise, no beating of generator. This is a country that pays its minister. And that's the thing, though. Until Liberian people stand and ask these people, no minister need to get $3,000, $2,000 for gasoline, for generator, or for car. You know what? They will build the capacity of the electricity. Even if they need to put in a temporary solar power or windmill, they will do it. Because there are other things that they can do to create power. But why would they? Why would they, when the incentive of 2,000 plus will be taken away from them? Why would they do that? Why would they build more road for you when they are coming, you have to move aside for them to come? Why would they do that? My time here is over. Let me say good night to all of you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. Let me say to all of you good night. But this is what I said. The mirror has two faces. The war did not come for door, and the war did not stop for door. The country was chaotic. There was no accountability. There were no legal recourse. There were no moral recourse for the injustice that were happening to Liberian people, to certain tribes. The other day I heard another Liberian woman carry on. When the people came, they were killing Crown people, they were killing Mandingo people, you didn't talk. When they were killing Nibali and other people, no, you didn't talk either. So that's the Liberian way, the Liberian people. So long it's not happening to me, I will not talk. And that my people doing it, I will not talk. That's exactly what we're doing now. That's the Liberian way. So until all of us renew our mind, reimagine Liberia, and be more innovative, and be more inclusive, and be more tolerant of each other, and be willing to listen, not to respond, but listen, to understand, to know where one of each of us are coming from, and meet one another, and listen as human to each other, so we can build our nation together. We'll keep pointing fingers, because if you point, somebody else will point. You saw the divide when Prince Johnson died. One group were dancing, one group were crying. When you come, the other people come. I stay in the middle, because I've been advocating for justice and accountability. That's what it is, and that's what Liberia need to move forward. Everybody needs to answer. At minimum, apologize for the nation. You can't say it does not happen. Even the great United States, okay, they may not tell all the story in its entirety, but they tell it because they teach it in school. It may come from the view of the praising of other people, but the Black people tell theirs. The white people tell theirs. We talk about the war. The Russian tell theirs. The Italian tells them. The English tell them. And that's what we do. So we will continue to talk. Good night, everyone. Tomorrow is the first day of school. The kids will be coming in. So let me go take a shower, get some rest, get enough sleep. And I'll talk to you later. Sis Letty, call me if you still want us to do that. I look forward to it. Good night, everyone. Okay? Goodbye. Good night, everyone. Oh, I am still here. So I gotta get my alrighty. Did I cut it off? No, I didn't cut it off. Okay. I need to get my YouTube here so I can get a little short clip and do that. Alrighty, here we go. Now I can finally say goodnight because I almost forgot that. Finally, good night. Oh, it's an error. Okay, eating. Oh, I don't know why it's that. Let me see if it was gonna do that. New York, Chicago, how you do that dance? Okay, now here we go.